Hi guys, this is Jilly from Excel 2016 Beginners in 10 Easy Steps. We're just going to take a run through the screen elements in the Excel 2016 screen. So once you've got Excel open, you'll see a series of templates. We're concentrating on just a blank workbook. So you're just going to double click on that and up pops the screen. So if this is your first time, we're just going to take a whiz round so that you can get used to some of the naming conventions. Now in your download bundle, I've included a blank version of this, that all the boxes are blank, and you can have a go at filling them in after you've had a look at this presentation. See how much you can remember. So right at the top you'll see the quick access toolbar, and you'll see these little arrows, one pointing to the left, a bendy arrow, and one pointing to the right, and then a little drop down. That little drop down, believe it or not, this is just a little toolbar, and you can add that you want a new worksheet in there. You can add to open another workbook. Don't worry too much about this because we'll come back to it. And then just by selecting them again, you can take them off. So it's called the quick access toolbar. These little arrows are undo and redo buttons. And again, don't worry too much, as long as you're familiar with the terminology. It's the quick access toolbar. Number 2 is pointing to tabs. So the tabs are home, insert, page layout, formulas, data review and view. So they are called the tabs. Okay. We go along, we've got Book 1 Excel. This is called the title bar, and it's where the title of your workbook is, so it makes sense. It's the title bar. Number 4 is pointing to these 3 icons in the top right hand corner. Okay, the first one is the minimize. Okay, so if I minimize that, it just takes me to my desktop. If I click on my Excel icon again, it restores it. This one is the restore, so number 5 is the restore. Now if I click on that, it just reduces the size of the window. I might want to go back to my desktop to click on a particular icon. I'm clicking on the title bar now and holding down my left mouse button, and then I can move the window up, down, backwards and forwards. Now if I click on the restore button again, it will restore the window to the size it was previously. So clicking on it, it reduces the size. Clicking on it again, it restores the window. This one I'm not going to touch because it will close Excel down completely. Okay, don't want to do that. That's number 6. Number 7 is pointing to ribbons and groups. So previously I said that these were the tabs, and if we click on the tabs, it reveals the associated ribbon. Okay, now don't be too overwhelmed. I know I was when I first started to learn Excel. It just looked a little bit overwhelming. All these different tools, all these different pictures, icons. It was just a bit daunting, but don't let it worry you. So I'm currently on the Home tab. Okay, now that reveals this associated ribbon, and you can see that it's made up of these groups of elements, these groups of icons. First one's clipboard, the second one's font, third one is alignment. Now what Microsoft has done is put all the most popular tools onto these groups. Now you'll see, we won't click on any of these at the moment, but as long as you're okay with the terminology, okay, you don't have to know what all these tools and icons and options do. We're only concerned about the terminology. So clipboard group, font group, alignment group, and if we go on to any of the other tabs to reveal its associated ribbon, again it's the same process, guys. We have got groups of icons. Okay, so the ribbons are broken up into these groups. We'll go back to the Home tab and to see its ribbon. Now number 8 is a dialog box launcher. Now on the groups you'll sometimes see this little down pointing arrow. Now if we click on that, it just reveals another set of options. But again, you might be thinking, heavens, you know, we've got all these options and now you're telling me that there's more. Well, the good news is, guys, that when you launch one of these dialog boxes, it's only replicating what's already in the group. So there's bold, there's the font size, and there's bold, and there's the font size. Okay, so we'll cancel out of that. But again, just be reassured that really the dialog box launchers are mostly replicating a lot of what's already in the group. It's just the most popular, most useful tools that Microsoft have put in the group to make it a little bit more accessible. So dialog box launchers. Next one is the formula bar. Select a cell. You can see if I click just once, not double clicking. If I double click, that's different. If I just single click any cell, all these little boxes are called cells. So if I select any cell and I type in my name and hit the enter key. Now at the moment I've selected that cell and it's empty, but if I just click on that cell, in the formula bar it reveals what's in that cell up here. So this area is called the formula bar. Okay, I can edit my text in the formula bar, okay, and hit enter. See, that time I didn't type in directly into the cell. Do that again. So put Gillian there and I've finished in that cell. I select the cell again, and if I want to edit that cell, I can come up to the formula bar and continue. I can also edit directly in the cell if I want to. So I've double clicked now. Can you see my cursor flashing? And I'm going to use the backspace key, and then to get rid of those letters, hit enter. So you've got two choices. You can edit by directly double clicking into the cell and typing into the cell and hitting enter to confirm, or I can select the cell and go to the formula bar and I can backspace and edit and hit enter that way. So that's the formula bar. Number 10 is pointing to the name box. So these are individual cells. Now keep your eye on this box here. It's called the name box, and currently it says C8. That's because I'm in column C and I'm in row 8. Okay, row 8, column C. Okay, now if I click one cell up, I'm now still in column C, but I'm in row 7. Another cell up, still in column C, row 6. If I click over here, I'm now in column K and I'm in row 14. Can you see how the row number is slightly darker in colour, so you can see directly what row you're in, 9 and I. Over here I'm in column O and I'm in row 2. So that is telling me the cell address. Say I wanted to go back to C8, if I just type in C8 and hit enter, Excel takes me directly to that cell. I never do that. When we're using Excel, I'll never go here and type in what cell I want to go to. It's not practical really to do it. It's much easier just to pick your cell and click here. Just showing you that this is telling us our current cell address, okay, L9. Okay, you might be wondering why, or what good is that? It comes in very handy later. But remember, this is all about terminology. This is the name box. Okay, number 11 is pointing to rows. We've already had a look at that. If I click on that cell, it's just highlighting that individual cell in A12. But if I actually hover my mouse over the row number, can you see my cursor has now changed to a black pointing arrow? If I single click now, it will highlight the entire row 12. That's highlighting all the columns in this particular worksheet. Believe it or not, it's over 16,000 columns, okay, in a single worksheet. 16,384. Mind-boggling, eh? So number 12 is cells. You just single click, just one click of the mouse button highlights a cell. Double clicking, you're in edit mode, and now I can type in a number or I can type in text. Okay, so a single click just selects the cell, but a double click allows me to insert text into that cell. I can just click away to get me out of edit mode. We've already seen that a single click, I can click up in the formula bar and type in text if I prefer, or I can click and type in numbers or text. You've got two options. So number 13 is pointing to the columns. We've already seen that. It's over 16,000 columns. Okay, just show you that if we get to Z, what happens is Microsoft add an A at the beginning. So it's AA and then it's AB, AC, AD, AE. When it gets to AZ, it will be BA, BB, BC, okay, until it exhausts the alphabet and just keeps adding a letter in front of it. Number 14 is the vertical scroll bar, and this is this little bar here. Okay. Number 15 is pointing to the zoom control. Now I can click either side to reduce the size of the worksheet. Okay. It might be that I've got some data over here. I can't quite see it if the sheet is zoomed in at 100%. Okay, just see the edge of it there, but if there was more to see and I just needed to have a quick look at it, and I can zoom, have a look at that data. Okay, so that's just the zoom control down here. I'll put it back up to 100%. You can zoom it right up as well. If you're visually impaired, that really helps. You can just zoom in, you can see the text up close. Okay, so I'll just put it to 100% again. Okay, now this is interesting. I'll have to scroll with my horizontal scroll bar to get back to column A and cell A1. Okay, so that's the vertical scroll bar, and this is the horizontal scroll bar. Just allows you to navigate around your screen. Number 17 is pointing down at the very bottom here, the bar that says ready. This is called the status bar, and when we've got some data in a sheet, I'll come back to this and show you just how useful the status bar is. Okay, it's not always blank like this. At the far end, just beside the zoom control, we've got some other icons as to how you can see your sheet. We can see it normally, page layout if we're going to print, and page break preview. But again, we'll have a look at these icons. Again, it's just familiarity at the moment. I'll just come back to this horizontal scroll bar. If I just hover my mouse over, there's 3 dots just there. My mouse changes to this strange looking double-headed arrow. If I hold down my left mouse button and pull it along to the left, it increases the size of this horizontal scroll bar. Now that's going to be really useful later on. I'll point that out to you when I think that that's going to be really useful, but you can click and drag it, okay, to resize that scroll bar. Number 18 is pointing to this little plus, and if you hover your mouse over it, it tells you, there's a little pop-up that says, well, that's a new sheet. Okay, and if you click on it, sheet number 2 comes in. If I click on it again, sheet number 3. I'm going to do that several times. Okay, all these sheets are exactly the same. They all contain 16,000 odd columns, over 1 million rows, guys. Can you believe that? In each sheet there's 1,048,576 rows in each sheet. Now, if you're not too sure whether to believe me or not, I'm currently in A1. If I hold down the control key on my keyboard and the down arrow, so I'm holding down the control key and I'm going to press the down arrow once and then let go. Can you see 1,048,576 rows in that one sheet? I'll hold down the control key on the keyboard, just tap the up arrow on the keyboard and let go. Takes me right up to the top. Okay, we can do that to see the end of the columns. Hold down the control key or just tap once the right pointing arrow on your keyboard. Let go. So it's gone through, Excel has gone through and exhausted all of those letters until it's got to XFD, and that is 16,384 columns away from, hold down the control key, left arrow now to go back to column A. Mind-boggling, I know, absolutely mind-boggling. So that's it. Oh no, it isn't actually. Why I've put in all these sheets, okay, is just to show you that if I've got lots and lots of sheets, right, let's just put in some more. Okay, so we're building up lots and lots of sheets, and then this happens sometimes that the scroll bar, the horizontal scroll bar, is so large that it's obscuring our sheets. I can't see unless I click on the very end one. Then you can see sheet 9 and sheet 10 is just popping behind it. That can be a little bit annoying sometimes, because now if I want to get back to sheet 2, then I have to click these arrows. Can you see these sheet navigation arrows? They come into play. Okay, I can go backwards and forwards, but what if I want to see all of my sheets? Well, that's where this little icon comes in really handy. You click and you drag until you can see all your sheets, sheet 1 through to sheet 11. If I want to delete a sheet, I right click on it and I can just say delete. If I had data on there, like I'll do it on sheet 1 because I've got some data in that sheet. We didn't get, do you want to confirm? Usually if you've got data on a sheet and you right click and select delete, it will say, oops, hang on a second, you've got data, are you sure you want to delete it? But there's nothing on there, so Excel just deletes it. But on sheet 1, if I right click and click on delete, it will say, oh, hang on a second, you've got data on there, are you sure? I say yes to just delete it. Now sheet 1's gone. Okay, now that wraps up all the screen elements, guys. Okay, sorry it's taken about 20 minutes. I didn't want it to take that long, so apologies for that. I'll see you back in the course. See you later.